15 pounds to go to 140. Marquez, 12 1/4 pounds to go up to 138. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Juan Manuel Marquez Derrick Smoke Gainer fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using unified rules. Jim, the 4 criteria that the judges will use to score each individual round: clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense, with a strong emphasis on clean, effective punching. Jim.
Well, here's Smoke Gainer, longtime, very close friend of Roy Jones Jr. Having grown up with Jones in Pensacola, Florida, Roy is here tonight to watch Gainer, as you can see, entering behind Gainer's right shoulder there. Derrick Gainer has been searching a long time to try to become one of the recognized stars of the featherweight division, but has fought almost his entire career, Larry, in the shadow of fighters like Marco Antonio Barrera and Derek Morales.
And to get ready for this fight, Jim, he actually sparred with Roy Jones, because Jones is fighting a tall southpaw next week, and he says in over 20 rounds he did hit him with 1 clean jab.
Yeah, that was he had 22 rounds of sparring with Roy Jones, George, and he was so elated. He said, I caught him with a body shot once, and I actually hit him on the chin one time.
Well, that's saying a lot with Roy Jones Jr.
That's what Gainer said, even though there's a 50-pound weight differential. Long experience, terrific guy, sponsor of a school for underprivileged children in Pensacola, Florida, yet another school waiting to be built. He said to us yesterday, those 2 schools, more important than anything I'll ever do in my boxing career. You see the trainer in the corner there, Alton Murkison, same trainer as for Roy Jones. You'll see him again next Saturday night. Here's Juan Manuel Marquez, and you talk about fighting in the shadow of Barrera and Morales. It's been an even more acute syndrome for the 3rd Mexican star of the division, Marquez.
Barrera became a star when he defeated Prince Nassim, who at one time wanted to fight Marquez, but that fight never happened. He comes in tonight as a 3-to-1 favorite.
Marquez supporters say that the governing body under which Prince Nassim Hamed held the title twice protected Hamed from having to fight Marquez and allowed Hamed to defend against lesser opponents. And then later he lost a controversial decision to Freddie Norwood. It's taken him a long time to get to this threshold. Now let's go and do ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Van Andel Arena here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where tonight Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, in association with your King of Beers Budweiser and Bets.com, are proud to present an evening of World Championship Boxing on HBO. Approved and regulated by the Michigan State Athletic Commission, this first bout is presented in association with DeBella Entertainment. Should this contest go the distance, the scoring at ringside will decide victory and defeat or draw. The 3 judges, all from the USA, are Dave Hess, John Parrish Jr., and Steve Tarnow, and working for the 42nd time as referee in a world title bout from Puerto Rico, Luis Pabon. And now, 2 champions will face each other for 12 rounds of boxing for the unification of the IBF and WBA Featherweight World Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with red, he officially weighs 125 3/4 pounds. His professional record, 41 victories, including 33 knockouts with only 2 defeats. From Ciudad de Mexico, the reigning IBF Featherweight World Champion, Juan Manuel Marquez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white with red. He officially weighs 126 pounds. He has a professional record of 39 victories, including 24 knockouts, with 5 defeats and 1 bout even. From Pensacola, Florida, the reigning WBA Featherweight World Champion, Derrick Smoke Gainer.
Okay, everybody's out. Everybody's out. Okay, everybody's out. Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the dressing room. They're having a clean match, okay? Good luck.
The featherweight division has been dominated over the last 5 or 6 years by Morales, Barrera, Prince Nassim. The winner tonight moves on for a chance to fight Barrera. The loser goes home.
There are people in the sport who wonder if during this entire period of time, Marquez has been the functional equal of Barrera and Morales and simply hasn't had a chance to prove it. There are others who say that he's a predictable pattern fighter without the variety in his game that both Barrera and Morales have shown.
He had a chance to show it, but he blew it when he lost to Freddie Norwood 4 years ago. It's taken him 4 years to get back to an important fight.
I think Derrick Gainer has just got to be committed to punching. He's a better puncher than he'll ever be a boxer. He's just got to be committed that once he drops a guy, he's going to finish him without dropping his hands and allowing the other guy to get back into the fight.
Gainer's had only 2 fights, total of 14 rounds in the last 17 months. Marquez, during that period of time, has continued to be active and has rolled up the second long win streak of his career. He had a 29-fight win streak between a loss in his opening fight and the loss to Norwood. Since the loss to Norwood, he has won 12 consecutive fights. And earlier this year, Marquez's little brother, Rafael Marquez, became world champion in the bantamweight division with a stirring knockout victory over the Cincinnati kid, Tim Austin.
See, Gainer moves around, does his little boxing moves without jabbing, without making any contact with a fighter to make him weary of you. That's what he's got to put into the mix. Make the guy afraid of you. If you're going to move around and ease, hit him first.
Gainer is used to working behind his jab, of course, as is Marquez. A problem tactically for both fighters in this fight that matches a conventional fighter against a southpaw. But given the level of professionalism here, you can expect that both guys are going to be determined to make their jabs work anyway.
Marquez is trying to get into the fight.
And Gainer looks like he's trying to stay out of it.
Well, this is the equation we talked about with George in the opening. Both natural counterpunchers. Somebody's going to have to go after somebody. When you're shorter, as Marquez is, you really got no choice, right?
You got to go after him. And you're going to find yourself missing because counterpunchers don't like to be the first one to land the punch. Counterpunchers like to make you miss first and then hit you.
Marquez steps in with a straight right hand. He's going to have to risk some. Against the southpaw Norwood, in the key loss of his career, he seemed hesitant and unwilling to go after Norwood, who, of course, is a tricky fighter and known to foul tactically.
Nice body shot earlier by Marquez.
Good counter right hand to the body, indeed. Gainer trying to flick the jab and keep him away. Straight left hand up the fight by Gainer. Tactical first round. And as we go to Marquez's corner, where the trainer, Nacho Beristain, who speaks Spanish, our interpreter is Hector Garcia.
He's out of control. Use your intelligence and don't get desperate up there. Be defensive. The time he comes up in front of you, he wants to try to get those punches out and get you out of the way.
Then boom, load up on it, okay? Okay? The jab is the key thing. This guy keeps coming. You gotta keep that windshield wiper in his face. Okay? He think he can walk you down, he gonna run into something. But you gotta keep your range so when you throw the punch, you can make good contact with it. Okay? All right, let's pull.
I mentioned the tactical problem for both fighters trying to land the jab. CompuBox numbers in round one show Gainer 0 of 10, Marquez 0 of 16. Neither man, in the view of CompuBox punch counters, able to land a jab. So maybe in this instance, landing it isn't as important as just throwing it, at least for Gainer, who wants to keep establishing the distance between himself and Marquez.
Gainer does not throw that left hand straight. A little arch to it, curves it. That's why he'll do a lot of missing tonight. You're really going to have to just point that thing and throw it straight. And that's right now, Gainer's throwing a curve ball.
Marquez has a good straight right hand, but has really unveiled it only once so far in the fight. And now referee Luis Pabon is going to tell Marquez to keep his punches up.
Take your time.
And he gives Gainer a chance to recover from a low blow. Didn't look all that devastatingly low.
Sube las manos, Marquez. Time in.
I think that's pretty good tactics, because now you got the referee looking at low punches, couple those, and you lose a point.
So you're saying when the referee offers to give you time, go ahead and use it?
You may as well, because it shows, hey, this guy's, I may need that point. This fight goes the whole 12-round distance.
It underlines and drives home the issue of the low blows. Gainer to the body, misses upstairs with the left. George told you Gainer would be missing a lot with that left because he loops it, and he looped it around behind Marquez's head.
The only thing offensive that Gainer has done in this fight is complain about two borderline punches.
Well, it's really hard to land a shot when a guy's moving around on you all the time. As soon as you stop and get a good aim, he jumps. It makes it really hard to concentrate and get a good shot. And that's what Marquez is trying to do, aim for a good shot rather than just throw punches. You're not going to get a good shot. Just throw something.
Well, it looks like neither man is willing to just cut loose and throw at this point.
Well, at least one of them is moving forward and trying to make a fight out of it.
Marquez landing a left hook upstairs. Gainer moved away. The crowd cheered as a punch was actually landed.
Don't throw.
That right hand by Gainer got a little closer. Just a little closer. That's what I said. If he's going to be a puncher, commit to it by establishing that real estate. Stand there. Don't run from the guy if you're going to be a puncher. Gainer needs to get his feet solid to the floor and land a shot.
Marquez lands the left hook wildly upstairs again. Second time in the round, he's managed to get leather onto Gainer's face. And those two punches amounted to the biggest offense of the round.
Your defense is good, Smoke. But look, this guy ain't nothing but another bunny in front of you. You can hit him and turn. Look, but when you throw the left hand, follow with the hook and come back out to your right. Okay? Don't throw your hook and stay over into your left hand pocket. Okay. Come back out to your right when you finish. You understand? Yeah. Okay? Fighting a little too defensive.
When he lowers his hands, you got to use the right hand. Be alive and smart. Don't lose your rhythm.
Let's see if that blow was particularly low, right on the border that Gainer complained about. In amateur boxing, Gainer might have been penalized a point in both of those rounds for not fighting.
I'm here all the time.
CompuBox numbers through the first two rounds show a total of 13 landed punches. You got two fighters in there. They fought 6 minutes. That means an average of 1 landed punch per minute per fighter. Not much.
Gainer throws that right hand with commitment. If he only comes back with the left hook, the right hook behind it, straight left and right hook behind it, he can have this, land him a good shot. But he throws the, you see, he throws the straight left as though nothing else matters. No combination.
Marquez trying to counter to the body. Gainer wild that time with the left hand.
Marquez just seems to wait until Gainer throws a big shot to try to do something. A good thing for Marquez, Gainer's got to lose a lot of energy as he can get some body punches in. All that jumping around would take his legs from under.
Gainer is simply hoping that Marquez opens up so that he can hit him with a sucker left hand. That's his whole game plan here so far.
You've heard the old saying about how styles make fights. Well, styles can break fights too. And that's part of what's happening here. These two fighters, logically matched according to their competitive records, but illogically matched in style. And it's scratch and sniff all the way.
No, it's not going to be all the way because Gainer will not stick to any plan. He's got to get knocked down or hurt to fight. Sooner or later, he'll run into something, and it'll make a fight out of it.
And will that make him better?
It'll make for a fight. He can't commit to boxing. He can't commit to punching.
Well, then one hopes that he'll do us the favor of getting hit sometime soon.
Sooner or later, he'll get it.
There's Marquez digging the left to the body and then coming back upstairs. As time goes on, Marquez gets marginally more opportunities to get in and throw 1 or 2 or 3 punches at a time. Maybe toward the end of the fight, Gainer's feet will become more stationary.
Gainer got hit, and now he starts being a little aggressive, just a little. He doesn't run away as far.
I guess he didn't get hit hard enough to want to be more than a little aggressive. Marquez blocking Gainer's right hand with his left glove. Throws a combination upstairs. Gainer smiles as if to say, oh, you think you can do that?
Gainer believes he can land one shot and knock this guy down for some reason.
Right, so far he's just auditioning for the Joffrey ballet.
3 rounds in the books of what has so far been a desultory fight. Roy Jones here to support Derrick Gainer and
let him come so freely. Let him come too freely.
Offer instruction. One of the cornermen in Gainer's corner turning and specifically listening to Roy's instructions, which will now be passed along to Smoke.
Okay.
And we'll be talking to Roy Jones between fights about next week's fight against Tarver and his future plans, heavyweight, light heavyweight, or otherwise.
Go to work. Hey, put something on and make him slow down his tracks a little bit. All right. Okay, jab up, give me something big to the body. Don't forget that right uppercut after your left hand sometimes. All right. Okay? Come on, let's touch him now.
Stay back, okay? Stay back. Stay back.
CompuBox punch counters finding a 7-to-1 connect advantage for Marquez in round 3. Alton Merkerson doesn't seem perturbed so far at Derrick Gainer's relative lack of offense. Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored?
Okay, Jim. I think Coach Merck ought to be perturbed. 30-27, 3 rounds to nothing, Juan Manuel Marquez. Jim, he's winning his fight on clean punching, like you saw just now. Effective aggressiveness. He's walking him down, chasing him. You know, he is the aggressor. He's landing as he's coming in. Effective aggressiveness. One comment. On that first low blow call by referee Louis Pavone, I swear to God, Derrick Gainer jumped up in the air. When he went up in the air, Marquez threw the punch, and it had to land low. I mean, he really suckered the referee.
Incidentally, I don't think it caught any Gainer's body. I think it just hit his trunks. See anything new, George?
No, sometimes, like I said, the good counter punches, they get trapped into those bodies. They want to throw a lot of shots, but you got to miss them before they can do anything, and that's what's happening to Gainer.
Well, you heard Alton Merkerson asking Gainer to try to land something big to the body. He took a wild shot with the left hand to get it doing the gun there. But so far, Marquez has been able to elude Gainer's big shots because Derrick's loading the gloves to try to do it. Now
that right
left
hand, that straight left hand is coming in closer and closer.
I think he got that one through. That one was blocked.
A little arch on it, 2 roundhouse.
Okay, I'm here. No throw. Nobody throw. Nobody throw.
This is a great opportunity for Marquez to get in there and land a few more punches to win these rounds and make certain the judges know who's in charge now.
This is one of the most disgusting performances I've ever seen by a so-called belt holder in Derrick Gainer.
Marquez lands a right hand that stops Gainer in his tracks and hits him with another one to back him up. And the big right hand is the best punch of the fight.
What happened was Gainer landed a straight left to the body, a right to the body before it happened, which made a little more benefit to him.
And now Gainer comes back with a left up top. And your point is well made, George, because Marquez landed those 3 punches and suddenly Gainer turned offensive for a moment.
Seems like he's got to hurt you. He's got to be committed to the right hook after that punch.
I'm here.
Gainer again complains to the referee, and this time Pabon says, come on, fight. Looks like Gainer's lost the support of the referee.
Yeah, the referees did a good job. He stood up to him and said, let's fight.
Keep him active.
Good job, referee.
Stay away from the ropes, and you got to throw the strikes to the body. Finish with the right hand to the body. You got to keep applying pressure, keep throwing punches. Keep them active, very active.
No more energy just by laying your punches out. You got to listen to me. Just lay your punches out, and when you see a big shot, throw it. Keep something in his face. You're sitting back waiting too much. Swallow a little bit. You understand? Okay, you got to do what I'm telling you. Just wait.
Here's a right hand from Marquez as Gainer does his ducking and dodging.
Atrás te digo. Mírame cuando te hable. Atrás. ¿Okay? Vamos a respetarnos.
CompuBox punch count through 4 rounds finds Gainer throwing 59 jabs and landing 0. And now it's up to about 0.65 with 0 lands as he continues to throw his jab directly into Marquez's left glove.
That's what he's doing exactly.
Well, he doesn't want to commit to it. The only punch he's willing to commit to is some big wild swing in the hopes that he lands and then he can fall into a clinch.
He looks like a guy hitting the pads in the gym, the way he keeps throwing the jab at Marquez's left glove. There, he finally got one under the glove. Not sure it actually reached all the way to Marquez's chin. Marquez left hooking and straight right to try to get inside. Gainer backs away again. Pad. Jab the pad. Crowd is starting to get restless. As well they should. Crowd cheers at the slightest contact. Marquez barely landing a right hand. Actually gets applause for it.
At this point, Gainer doesn't seem to have any kind of strategy or tactics, just there. You got to do something. You have to have a plan and work a plan and plan your work.
Gainer tried to get to the body. Marquez came back with a 1-2. There's a hand over the top by Gainer.
And he brought the hook back. The right hook came back for the first time all night.
Meanwhile, Marquez was countering to the body.
Gainer finally brought the right hook back.
Well, that's a great sign, huh?
Because if you're going to be a puncher, that's going to do the job for you. the combination of punches, not one.
Yeah, and make it at least to the third punch in the combination if you really want to do some damage. 1-2 in this division ain't going to get it done.
Not in that division, you're correct.
Maybe in the heavyweight division, but not here.
If I were Marco Antonio Barrera watching this, I'd be saying, if Smoke Gainer happens to win this fight, I would never fight him.
Well, at this moment, for Gainer to think that he ought to be in against the Barreras and Moraleses of the world is ludicrous. And the crowd is booing. And there's Floyd Mayweather Jr., who's warming up and preparing to, he says, put on a show for the local faithful. Everybody knows Floyd's one of the most gifted boxers and defenders in the world. So, of course, he's saying, I'm going to stand toe-to-toe with him. I'm going to knock him out in 6. This against one of the biggest punchers in the division. Wonder if he's conning us.
I think so.
Floyd Mayweather against Philip Indo of South Africa, still to come tonight. Yes, pretty boy Floyd.
You can do it, okay? You got to touch him more, okay? He's a little too safe. A little too safe, baby.
5th round was, by previous standards in this fight, a wild offensive show. Gainer connecting on 5 punches by CompuBox numbers, and Marquez doubling him with 10 connects. A free-for-all. 6th of a scheduled 12, Marquez lands a right hand upstairs. Comes back with 3 shots to the body.
Thing about Gainer, he can turn things around with 1 punch at any time.
That's true, George, and that's the problem.
He's waiting for that 1 punch, huh?
Yeah, and so are we, and we may be waiting until
next year.
Thanksgiving. I'm more of an optimist than you, George.
Marquez chasing and getting in a right hand again. That right hand partially blocked. He just sticks the glove out and sort of touches Gainer's body, but that counts for more than anything Derrick's done in the round.
It's like Derrick Gainer left his fight at home tonight.
Well, I mentioned 2 fights, only 14 rounds in 17 months. We could be looking at a bad case of ring rust.
You know, it happens to a guy sometimes. Want to do it, he want to throw the shot, nothing happened.
Not to mention, they were scheduled to fight as recently as August. Gainer pulled out with a torn pectoral muscle. Can you recover from a torn pectoral in 2 months? Marquez says he doesn't even think Gainer was really hurt. Marquez still has a lot of respect for Gainer's punching power.
For good reasons. But Gainer hasn't given us anything to have a lot of respect for tonight.
Brilliantly said, George.
All he has to do is just throw some punches.
Yeah, but then he might get hit back, George.
Oh, no, that's not good.
But more and more, Marquez seems willing to take matters into his own hands, sporadically stepping in and mounting aggression on his own terms. Gainer misses with a right.
That's the counterpuncher, waiting to get 1 shot after you finish it, hitting him as though something magical is going to happen. That's what Gainer is doing.
Marquez becoming more aggressive, tried for a big shot with the right hand. Gainer lands the right hand. Marquez comes back with a 1-2 of his own.
I gave a 2-point round to Marquez that time because even by his own standards, Gainer did nothing in that round.
Hard to imagine that Smoke Gainer has won a round so far on any of these scorecards. Now, it might be possible, but it's hard for us to see from here.
Something negative if you gave that round away. You get your land back waiting on you.
We can experiment in this fight. He's looking to hit you with 1 punch. That 1 punch is looking for. He's too overconfident. You have to put a lot of pressure. He doesn't know how to fight backwards. He doesn't know how to fight going back. He thought that you were a common fighter. He thought it was going to be easy. He's finding out now that this is the reality. You're the better fighter. Close that ring, a little more active.
Round 7 begins between Derrick "Smoke" Gainer and Juan Manuel Marquez. Gainer was given credit by CompuBox punch counters for throwing only 14 punches in the 6th round, while Marquez was throwing 44 and landing a larger number than ever before. Harold, how do you have it scored so far?
Okay, Jim, 6-0, 60-54, Juan Manuel Marquez. Jim, I gotta tell you something. If you watch Juan Manuel Marquez's feet, he sets his feet, he's flat-footed, beautiful balance. So in other words, when he lands with power. You see, you notice? Absolutely on balance, no question. Now, one quick comment about the rules. The state of Michigan drug tests a fighter before the fight. It's atrocious. God only knows what they can feed the guy in the corner. They don't do a drug test after the fight.
What has that got to do with this fight?
It has to do with every fight.
So do you suspect that drugs are being used in the corner of these fights, Harold?
No, Jim, but I see no reason for it.
You see no reason why they would test given that procedure?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Is Marquez getting too confident, George?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, he should do some more. Gainer is being hit around the body now, so the chances of landing that one knockout shot are starting to diminish as the minutes go by. He can get overconfident and he wouldn't hurt anything there.
The boos are peeling from the balcony here.
Yeah, and I hope Marquez knows they're not booing him, as he is raking Gainer to the body and the head in this round with a gradually building offensive tempo.
Okay. Second time, okay?
Now Pavone tells Marquez that he's landed low for the 2nd time. Gainer goes to a corner and looks over at Roy Jones for advice. Gainer, as we mentioned, sparred 22 rounds with Roy Jones in preparation for this fight. The significance of that, of course, you have a featherweight sparring with a light heavyweight. But moments ago, Larry Merchant turned around to Jones and said, he sparred with you and he's scared to fight this guy? What's up?
Yeah, Roy said, well, he's tight. Here's a guy who's been fighting professionally for 13 years. Hasn't worked.
Gainer doesn't like getting hit in the head. Marquez whipped him with the right hand and has cut him.
What's he complaining about? He got hit in the eye by a punch.
Gainer's claiming it was a butt.
He got hit with a punch. What's the problem? Why is this official stopping the fight?
They're telling us from the truck that it might have been a butt. We'll take a look on our replays to try to find out for sure. Gainer's claiming it was a butt. Not sure the referee knows for sure. Ring doctor taking a look.
Well, if they stop the fight, Marquez will win it.
You want to continue? What do you say?
It's a bad cut. Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
It looks like...
That's Dr. Mike Sherbin, who was asking Gainer if he wanted to continue in the fight.
It's over.
And now the referee is saying it's over.
Gainer doesn't really want to go on.
No intention, no intention. Going to the scorecard.
Okay, we're going to go to the scorecards after what is being called an unintentional headbutt.
Yes.
Harold, what is the regulation here in scoring?
Now, the regulation is this. They have to score the partial round. They got to score round 7. So that the winner is the guy that's going to be ahead on the scorecards after 7 rounds are scored.
That's it, that's it.
Let's take a look and see if it was a butt or a punch. There's the butt.
It was an unintentional butt.
Yep, followed by the punch, so...
And all I can say is That's one of the best unintentional butts I've ever seen.
If it brings relief.
If it ends this nightmare, this abortion, hallelujah.
Derrick Gainer, through 6+ rounds, is given credit by CompuBox for landing 16 out of 156 punches. Juan Manuel Marquez, 51 out of 209, and give Marquez credit, he was trying to fight. George, why would Derrick Gainer elect not to keep fighting? Surely he must suspect that as they go to the scorecards here, he's going to be behind.
Yeah, there could have been a lot of things going through his mind. I think he was, like he said, too tight, didn't get loose. Something's wrong with his body anyway. You know, so he made him give it up tonight.
How can you tell the fight is stopped for Gainer? It's never started.
Well, he never did get uncocked in the night tonight, never did get loose. So it wasn't like, hey, I can go on and get better with a cut tonight.
Yeah, goodbye. Yeah, goodbye.
Accidental butt.
Marquez's promoter, Bob Aram, coming over to ask us if the replay showed the butt. Yes, Bob, it did. Mexican promoter Fernando Beltran was at first going crazy across the ring, thinking that it wasn't a butt, but indeed the replay, as you saw, cleared that up.
Back in his locker room, all right?
This was dreadful.
Yeah.
And now the judges are trying to figure out how to score the 7th round and finalize their scorecards for Michael Buffer to give us the official score. And here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest has been called to a halt because of an accidental headbutt and an injury suffered by Derrick "Smoke" Gainer. Under the unified rules, we go to the scorecards up to and including the 7th round. The scoring is as follows. Dave Hess scores it 70-63. John Parrish 69-64. Steve Tarno has it 70-63, all for the winner by unanimous decision, and now the unified IBF WBA featherweight world champion, Juan Manuel Marquez.
So they got it right. And Juan Manuel Marquez gets the victory over Derrick Gainer that continues to propel him toward potential greater prominence in the featherweight division. Unfortunately for Marquez, no chance to produce real fireworks tonight in a fight against a Derrick Gainer who was either so rusty or so unengaged that he simply couldn't or didn't come to fight. There are the final CompuBox numbers, one-sidedly in favor of Marquez. The jabs making the point even more clearly because Gainer threw almost exclusively jabs, 107 out of 156 thrown punches, and yep, I remember pointing out one and saying I think he landed that, and I guess the CompuBox folks agreed. George Foreman, first of all, give us your reaction to Marquez's quote victory unquote over Gainer.
Derrick Gainer was not the same Derrick Gainer I've been seeing boxing over the years. Something was wrong tonight. He just couldn't get loose. Could have been a lot of reasons, but that headbutt was because of his lazy and out of it. Couldn't get out of the way of the head. So I'm glad the fight is over.
Any way to evaluate from this how good Marquez is?
No, not at all. You cannot get an indication on his talent at all. Not from this fight at all.
So, so Larry Merchant, will it damage Marquez's chances of moving forward toward the big fights he's still looking for?
I don't think so. I think Barrera is headed for another fight with Eric Morales should he beat Pacquiao,
if he beats Pacquiao,
which is no certainty. What comes into my mind is here is yet another example of what all these various belts mean.